Seconds to air. Stand by, all cameras.
Ready with slow motion and isolated cameras.
Stand by, videotape, and roll tape.
And tape is rolling in less than 5, in 3, 2, 1.
Take tape.
This is the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas, as viewed from overhead by the Goodyear blimp, America. Tonight, it's the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Perfect weather for football. Both these clubs battling to stay close to the undefeated Washington Redskins. And NFL Monday Night Football is brought to you by Firestone. The name that's known is Firestone, where the rubber meets the road. And by Ford, who invites you to see all the 72 better ideas at your Ford dealers.
Over 60,000 people here in the Cotton Bowl tonight to see the Giants against the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Howard Cosell. Welcome to another Monday night of NFL football. And tonight, the atmosphere is as tense in this booth as it is on the gridiron. We have coming to vocal grips the ex-Giant Frank Gifford and the ex-Cowboy Don Meredith. Hopefully, I shall serve as a provocative catalyst during the course of the evening. And hopefully, too, we've got a great matchup, equivalent to that here in the booth on the gridiron. The Giants at 2-1, surprisingly, against the Cowboys at 2-1, as each team chases the division-leading Washington Redskins in the Eastern Division of the National Football Conference. And we've got another feature coming up for you tonight that should be interesting. The possible first appearance of number 33. Dwayne Thomas just activated, the great back of a year ago who helped lead the Cowboys to the Super Bowl. But why talk more? Let's analyze the Cowboys through the voice and knowledgeability, immense as it is, of the great one of yesteryear, number 17, Don Meredith.
Thank you, Howard. Let's do hope that we don't let the activities of this booth overshadow the activities of the Cotton Bowl, because we are here to bring you a very good football game. Contrary to what Howard mentioned, I don't really know that much about the Cowboys, except I was there for 9 years. They've changed a great deal. The team has always been highlighted by multiple offensive formations and coordinated defenses. The first fellow that we're going to show you tonight is not the starting quarterback, and that is Craig Morton, number 14. Roger Staubach is scheduled to start. Craig Morton was with the Dallas Cowboys when I was here. Roger Staubach was not. He's a young fellow from Navy. Craig played his college ability out in California. I don't know. They've had some trouble with deciding which one is going to be number one. Roger's going to start out tonight. Both boys are very capable. One thing that is sure, they have a great guy in the backfield to give it to that can run, and that's number 35, Calvin Hill. Calvin is from Yale, and he's a heck of a runner. Calvin can go outside. I think we'll see the Cowboys try to exploit his speed and the versatility that Calvin Hill does have. He may even throw a play pass tonight. Let's be looking for all of it. Now we'll hear what Frank's got to say about those wonderful New York Giants. Come on, Frank.
Well, Don, I don't know either. I only spent 12 years there with the Giants. We'll try and get along. The Giants, I think, are in a lot of trouble this evening. Many people probably do not know that Ron Johnson, their great running back of last year that gained over 1,000 yards, will not play. He was placed on the move list very late this afternoon. He's been replaced on the roster by a rookie out of the University of Southern California, Charlie Evans. And Ron Johnson will be out for at least 2 weeks. If the Giants win tonight, it'll be because they will get a great performance from their quarterback, Fran Tarkenton. And Fran Tarkenton has had many great performances over the years against the Dallas Cowboys. He's the kind of quarterback that's scrambling around, can really confuse the staid, if I can use that word, Dallas defense. They're a keying defense. When you get that quarterback out of the pocket, they get into a lot of trouble. They also have a great playbreaker in their number 1 draft pick, Rocky Thompson from West Texas State. Rocky Thompson, who last week against the St. Louis Cardinals in a 21-20 win by the Giants, went 93 yards for a touchdown. It was a great effort. He did it earlier against New England in the preseason, and he has blinding speed. Let's take a look at it. Jim Bakken kicking off for the St. Louis Cardinals. The Giants at this point trailing and in trouble. Thompson takes it at the 7. Watch the block of Dick Kotite, number 87. Right there. He springs Thompson, and it's all over. Rocky Thompson, who will be receiving the kick tonight for the Giants, is the kind of man who can get them off to a good start. And we'll be ready for tonight's kickoff in just a moment.
Unfortunately, your new 1972 Winter is almost ready for delivery. Fortunately, a new Firestone tire that will change the way you feel about winter driving is ready for delivery now. Firestone stops you cold, starts you cold, helps you steer your way through winter weather. New Firestone asymmetrical town and country tires. The winter tire with 3 separate treads. An open traction section to help you start or stop. Center Z-bars for stability and mileage. A stable traction section to help your steering control. Adding up to a wide tread that holds a third more ice-gripping studs than any tire we've made before. These new tires are designed for front wheels, too, to give you even more steering and stopping control on ice. Winter always has a few surprises for you. This year, get Firestone asymmetrical town and country tires from your Firestone dealer or store, and you'll have a few surprises for winter.
My wife says I can only have one beer. And this is it.
There's a big beer brotherhood of hams. You're on to something good with hams.
Hams, tap and regular, is brewed for natural drinkability. Nothing artificial. There's always room for another ham.
The big beer drinking brotherhood of hams.
I'm Roger Staubach of the Dallas Cowboys. Sometimes there's no place to hide. Make sure you don't try to hide behind a curtain of drugs.
Again, from overhead, the Goodyear blimp, giving us a fine view of the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. The New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Getting ready to kick off is Mike Clark of the Dallas Cowboys. The Giants having won the toss. And going deep for the New York Giants will be number 28, Bobby Duhan, and number 22, Rocky Thompson, the speedster, the number 1 draft pick of the New York Giants from West Texas State. Keep in mind, as we mentioned moments ago, that last week, Rocky Thompson carried one back against the Cardinals, 93 yards for a touchdown. Great speed. We're underway. The ball going deep to the goal line where Thompson will take it at about the 4. Thompson over the 35 to about the 37, still spinning. Fumble on the play. Claxton Welch at the bottom of the pile. Claxton Welch, number 42, has picked off Rocky Thompson's fumble on the very opening play.
Well, it's a way to start one, Frank. Looked like Thompson had this one broken for a good game. He had good blocking. Let's see who hits him in there. A couple of guys. That was Claxton Welch, number 42, came in and picked it up. Had that one too loose. The Cowboys got a big break.
That they do. 1st and 10 on the Giants' 40-yard line. Roger Staubach, the quarterback. Lance Allworth comes left. He's number 19. Bobby Hayes, the speedster, is in the slot, number 22. Calvin Hill moves to the flank, and this is Garrison around the right side. Garrison breaking across the 40 and close to out of bounds at the 39-yard line. And we will set that offensive backfield. Calvin Hill, number 35, is a fullback. Walt Garrison, 32, the halfback. Lance Allworth is starting for the first time. Obtained from San Diego in a trade, one of the great receivers of all time in pro football. He's number 19. Bob Hayes, number 22, is the split end. 87, Billy Truex, another shakeup by Tom Landry, will start at tight end. Billy Truex obtained from the Los Angeles Rams. And this is the man on the spot, Roger Staubach. 6'3", 197 pounds, a former Heisman Award winner, now in his 3rd year with the Cowboys. 2nd down, 9 yards. Staubach looking to pass. Gets one off deep. Overthrowing Bobby Hayes. Roger Staubach looking downfield. Carl Lockhart back, attempting to cover Bob Hayes. In that offensive line, 24, Roger Staubach. At right tackle, number 70, Rayfield Wright. Blaine Nye, a fine veteran guard, is at the right guard position, 61. And we have a flag down at the line of scrimmage. The options being discussed with Carl Lockhart, the acting captain for the Giants. This is Tommy Bell, our referee. That's the big one. The official indication of pushing against the Cowboys. That will give Roger Staubach a second down and 24. At left guard, as we continue across that offensive line, John Nyland. Number 76, Ralph Neely. Number 73 is the left tackle. And at center, Dave Manders, number 51. Second down and 24. Coming left, both speedy receivers. Lance Allworth wide to the left. Bob Hayes in the slot. Billy Truex, the tight end, splits out right. The Cowboys shift. And we'll see a lot of that this evening. The fake draw. The pitch goes to Calvin Hill, and he fumbles the football. I believe that was lateral.
Well, they haven't looked real sharp so far.
Looked nervous.
Calvin Hill bobbling that football. And it was ruled a lateral, a loss of about 2 yards. Third down now, and make it 25. Defensively in the secondary for the Giants, at the left corner is Athos, 45. Joe Green's the tight safety, 33. Carl Lockhart, the free safety, 43. Willie Williams, the right cornerback, he's number 41. Again, both wide Dallas receivers come to the left, both speedy wide receivers. You see Hayes in the slot. Out wide, Lance Allworth. Staubach again going deep. Almost picked off by Joe Green at the 20-yard line. Joe Green coming over from his tight safety position, which will give you an indication that the Giants are going to try and attempt to get double coverage on those two speedy receivers. Staubach comes to the sidelines. The Cowboys will have to punt. Ron Whitby will come in, number 10. Dropping deep with the Giants, number 43, Carl Lockhart, as we look at head coach Tom Landry conferring with his quarterback, Roger Staubach. Also deep with Carl Lockhart, number 28, Bobby Duhan. Line kick. Great effort by Charlie Waters.
Wow.
But it will be the touchback. And with timeout, the score is the Giants nothing, the Cowboys nothing.
You said you wanted to uncomplicate your life. Remember? Start now with the Schick injector system. We designed it for better balance so it's more maneuverable, easier to control, because we believe a good, clean shave should be a simple, natural act. Schick injector system. Simplify.
You might not recognize me because I put on a few pounds, but I'm the mouth that ran up the clock. Here's why I stopped running.
1:00.
Panasonic's talking clock radio. Touch it, and it tells you the time in words.
1:00.
Panasonic makes a lot of radios in crazy shapes and colors, some with cassette recorders. Radios that put you in the center of an orchestra. But this one's my favorite. Hickory dickory.
1:01.
Panasonic, just slightly ahead of our time.
On the sidelines, head coach Alex Webster of the New York Giants looks on as his Giants take over 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line, their own 20, following the touchback. A 53-yard kick by Ron Whitby. And you'll see a lot of shifting and moving around on the part of the Giants. They're going to try and confuse a very strong Dallas defense. Now in the stacked eye. Now with motion. Rich Houston going to the left. To the middle is Coffey, and I believe another fumble. And another Cowboy recovery. At the bottom of the pile, number 63, Larry Cole.
Well, gentlemen, so far your respective teams are performing a comedy of errors.
Howard. Only underway.
Howard. Never forget. At least Frank and I have respective teams.
First and 10 for the Cowboys. They have the ball on the Giants' 24-yard line. They, too, shift and move around. Allworth now into a short wing formation. Now he goes in motion. The toss goes to Calvin Hill. Behind Rayfield right, up to the right. Calvin Hill down to about the 15-yard line, make it the 14. Carl Lockhart coming over to help out with the tackle. Joe Green is there, number 33. And again, a flag is down. And Howard, I'm starting to agree with you.
It's about time.
That's another big one. Cowboys are going into this game, Frank, with the idea that they've got to control the ball. And I think we'll see a lot of runs. I think we're going to see a lot of sweeps. They expect to get Calvin Hill outside. Hope we don't see a lot of the infractions by both teams. It just doesn't lend itself to a good ball game.
Second down now on 22 yards. Roger Staubach brings the Cowboys up to the line of scrimmage. Both speedy receivers to the left. Bob Hayes, Lance Allworth. Staubach dropping straight back. And he wants to get on the scoreboard early, and he overthrows Lance Allworth at the goal line. Staubach's passing record in 1970. A defensive line for the Giants, number 71, Bob Lurtzum, a left end. Jerry Shea, 75, the left tackle. Roland Lakes, number 76, the right tackle. Fred Dreyer, number 89, the right defensive end. John Douglas, a former Cowboy, is number 51. Jim Files, now in his second year, doing a fine job at middle linebacker for the Giants, number 58. Ralph Heck is on the left side. He's 55. Staubach, 0 for 4. Second down, 22. Fran Tarkenton on the sidelines looking on. Last year, the Cowboys and the Giants split. The Cowboys winning the first one, 28-10. The Giants winning the second, 23-20. Second and long yardage. Lance Allworth in motion. Calvin Hill. Calvin Hill hit hard by Ralph Heck, 55. Roland Lakes was over, number 76. I don't give us time to tell you that our telecast is presented by authority of the Dallas Cowboys Football Club. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Dallas Cowboys Football Club and the National Football League is prohibited. Third down and 22. Don, you've seen a lot of these.
You bet. I think he'll try the pattern that he called a while ago. We'll see Allworth come back across the middle, what they call a wing-in pattern.
Staubach looking down, looking for Allworth across the middle. Don, you were right on. Allworth wasn't. Drops the ball at the 14-yard line. Lance Allworth, as I mentioned before, one of the truly great receivers of all time.
We'll watch it again. Allworth, as you know, has injured ribs. This is his first time to be back in there. Let's see if this affects his jump. The ball did look like it was in there. He came back across the middle. That one was in there. It should have been caught. It was a good throw by Roger. Bobby Hayes on that pattern is the clear-out man. He's in between where Allworth is and the tackle, and he goes right straight down to clear it out. There was a good hole in there. Going to try a field goal.
And to attempt a field goal, Mike Clark, number 83, comes on as we watch in the end zone. Danny Reeves holding at the 42-yard line. It's up. And it just clears the crossbars. The Cowboys on the scoreboard. 42-yard field goal to Mike Clark. In NFL Monday Night Football, the New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys continues from the Cotton Bowl. With the score, the Cowboys 3, the Giants nothing.
Searching for beauty and elegance, you'll find it with a luxurious new 72 Ford LTD Brougham. It's Quiet Plus. Engineered for quiet strength. Built to be strongly quiet. Inside, superb tailoring with fine, richly textured fabrics. Outside, new styling excitement. Up front, along its sleek profile, even in the back. End your search with a 72 Ford LTD, sure to be spotlighted wherever you go. A quiet car plus distinctive styling equals a better car, a better value for you. Take a quiet break in the luxurious new Ford LTD at your Ford dealers. Quiet Plus, another better idea from Ford.
11 minutes and 43 seconds remain in the first period from the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. Mike Clark whom you are just now looking at, has just kicked a 42-yard field goal. The Cowboys out in front 3-0. Deep is Rocky Thompson. Inside the end zone, ahead of Rocky Thompson, is Bobby Duhan. Another high kick, which Thompson will field in the end zone, and he'll run it out. Rocky Thompson back to the 15-yard line. Dwayne Thomas down to make the tackle, number 33, who's just been activated, as Howard mentioned at the top of our telecast.
Well, now let's see what the Giants can do offensively. You're looking at Dwayne Thomas now, of course, as he seeks to get in there and make the tackle. This young man is apparently fired up for a very great many reasons, many of them personal, many of them confusing and not understood by these reporters and by the American public. But he is a very great football player, and we'll watch him at every opportunity tonight.
And his effort puts the Giants on their own 14-yard line. Joe Morrison is in a one-step back. Tarkenton sprinting out, looking for Morrison. He has him. And did he have control of the football? The officials ruled that he did at the 25-yard line, Tarkenton to Morrison. And I think we'll see a lot of that this evening. Tarkenton, knowing that he will get pressure from a great defensive front four, George Andre, 66. The right defensive end, Bob Lilly, 74. One of the truly great tackles of all time at right tackle. Jethro Pugh, 75. Larry Cole is the defensive left end, 63. There's your measurement. First down, New York.
I think there's another reason, Frank, we'll see Fran roll out. You mentioned some very good ones. Another one is Dallas, being a coordinated type team on defense, is geared for a drop-back type passer. They function, they key off of a drop-back passer. When you're on a rollout, a lot of things can happen. And Tarkenton is a man that can make a decision very quickly to either run or throw, and that puts added pressure in a centralized or localized spot from that defense.
Clip to McNeil. The wide end goes to the left. Joe Morrison, Junior Coffey, the setbacks. Now Rich Houston, the flanker, goes in motion. This to Rich Houston. Mel Renfro trying for the tackle as Houston moves up to the 30-yard line. Great speed on the part of Houston.
I'd like to make the point, too, Frank, that we're going to see some very wild things tried by the Giants on the offense tonight. Things you won't believe. Scrambles of a whole new type that Frank will depict as they take place.
I will try.
This team is obviously making concessions to itself in the face of the fact that they are without Ron Johnson and also without Tucker Frederickson, who's on the move list.
All right, second down and 5 for Tarkenton. He has his stacked eye. Junior Coffey directly behind. Joe Morrison. Now Rich Houston goes to the left in motion. This is Coffey. Coffey met at the line of scrimmage. Hard. Number 74, Bob Lilly is there. Chuck Halley's there, 54. George Andre, 66. In that secondary for the Dallas Cowboys, Mel Renfro, number 20, is the right cornerback. Cliff Harris has opened at the free safety. Cornell Green, number 34, is the tight safety. 26, Herb Adderley, the 10-year veteran, is at the left corner.
Cliff Harris, number 43, is in there in place of number 41, Charlie Waters, whom many feel was the culprit on the touchdown pass to Roy Jefferson a week ago that broke open the game for Washington.
Now on 3rd and 3, out to the left is McNeil. You can call this whatever you want. It's funny. Straight drop back. Over the middle to Bob Tucker. Tucker just short of the 40-yard line. Bob Tucker, number 38, the tight end.
Watch for that all game long. Fran likes to throw to Bob Tucker, a very unheralded and underpublicized tight end, number 38, on key third down situations.
We saw the Cowboys blitz on that last play, too. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't do more of that tonight. The Cowboys blitz against certain formations rather than down situations. And if we see a lot of unusual formations and motions, I'm sure we'll see the linebackers coming.
1st and 10 from the 38-yard line, their own 38-yard line. McNeil to the left, Houston to the right. Tarkenton getting in trouble. A flag goes down. The ball goes out to Coffey. He's up over the 43-yard line. A flag is down at the 46-yard line. Dave Edwards there to stop Junior Coffey. The discussion with Fran Tarkenton, the acting captain for the Giants.
It looked to be a defensive holding downfield, Frank, which is somewhat different from pass interference in that I think they got Edwards for holding the receiver. The ball was not thrown to him, and therefore he didn't interfere with his opportunity to catch the ball, but rather he just interfered with his opportunity to run a pass. but as oftentimes is the case, I could be wrong.
Discussion continues. Now Herb Adderley has moved in, number 26. Referee Tommy Bell. The umpire is George Kennard this evening. Our head linesman, Ray Dodds. Our line judge, Royal Cathcart. Our back judge, Tom Kelleher. Our field judge is Fritz Graff. This is Tommy Bell.
The penalty paced off from the line of scrimmage under the new rule rather than from originally the point of the infraction. Is that what you make of that, Don?
That's exactly right. From the line of scrimmage, a personal foul marked off against the Dallas Cowboys. All right, the Giants now have a 1st and 10 on the Cowboys' 42-yard line. McNeil goes left. Or Houston left. McNeil is right. Tarkenton getting rid of it quickly to McNeil. McNeil with a pickup of about 3 or 4 yards.
You got to hand it to Tarkenton. He's maddening to defense. Unlike most scramblers, he somehow manages to retain very frequently command of the downfield. And he's using the quick poppers now to the sidelines. Remember, this drive began at the 14. Remember, the Giants are playing without their 2 best backs. Remember, they're playing a team generally considered by many to have at least one of the 2 best 40-man squads in football.
Tarkenton, 4 for 4, 28 yards, 2nd down, and a long 3. The ball resting at the 31-yard line. Morrison heading back, moving very close to the 1st down. George Andre, 66, is there for the tackle. Jethro Pugh, 75. 9 minutes, 13 seconds remain in the 1st period. Joe Morrison, now in his 13th year as a New York Giant.
Dallas has always been strong against the run. Oh, Pete might have kicked one in a minute, fella. Pete Gogolak, thinking about it. Last week against Washington, over 200 yards was gained rushing against the Cowboy defense. This is something that hurts a great deal since the club was actually formed with the idea that defense is what wins championships. And you don't win championships by letting the other team rush for 200 and something yards against you. And the Giants are running very well so far tonight.
Another 1st and 10 for the Giants. They're at the Cowboys' 31.5-yard line. McNeil goes left. The stacked eye. Houston goes in motion to the left. Toss to Morrison. Behind Greg Larson. Morrison inside what appears to be the 25-yard line to about the 24. Leroy Jordan moving over. Excuse me, Don.
Well, I just want to point out one other thing. Anytime that somebody moves in the backfield, like we've been seeing a lot of motion or divide, what they call when the man in the backfield goes to the weak side, that is a divide move. Motion when he goes to the strong side where the tight end or the X-end lines up. The Dallas defense has to make a quick adjustment. And this does cause some problems because they have to do it right at the last second.
And Alex Webster, having played with Tom Landry, aware of his coaching philosophy, is moving his backs all over the field. 2nd down now and 3. The quick toss again to McNeil. He can't handle it. McNeil working in front of Adderley. That time you saw Chuck Halley easing out into the flat.
Exactly right. It's a good move by Halley. Halley's responsibility is that short, quick outside pattern. It's hard for a defensive back to cover that. And there's old Alex Webster, as you pointed out, and he's taking it all in over there. Is that Norm Heckerbein?
Joe Walton, the former tight end.
There you go.
Norb Hecker in the background. The defensive coach as we look at 3rd and 3. We're getting close, Don.
What's this wee stuff?
That's right.
All right.
3rd and 3 from the 24. McNeil to the right. The stacked eye. Quick toss to Coffey, and he's met there by Chuck Howley.
We won't find a better one. He's as good as there is. There he is. Talk to him, Coach. Get him going. Coach will help you out there.
Tom Landry looking on. Chuck Howley, a 13-year veteran himself, with the stop on Junior Coffey. That'll bring up 4th down. The ball resting at about the 28-yard line. Pete Gogolak has come on. He'll try to tie the football game up. And Tarkenton will hold at just past the 35-yard line. Pete Gogolak, who's had problems. He's 1 for 6 this year. And it's good. From the 36-yard line, Pete Gogolak hits. And with timeout, the score is the Giants 3, the Cowboys 3.
Coming at you, model motoring sand vans, dynamite dune buggies from Aurora, fun cars that are really fun because you really drive them with your sand van joystick. And the action doesn't let up because the power pack plugs right into the wall. Sand vans. The red dune set even comes with lights. Each sand van set comes with 2 vans, dune track, all power equipment from the model motoring division of Aurora. We're for real.
You take the ball and you place it on the magnet like that. Then you pitch the high, hard one. Then you got to learn how to punch out the clutch hit like that.
Let's play. A homer! I got a homer!
Take it easy, son. It's only a game.
A homer! A homer! Take it easy, Dad. It's only a game.
Skittles Baseball comes complete with players and scoreboard. From Aurora, where fun is the name of the game.
A crowd of over 60,000 here in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas, has just given this young man an ovation. Dwayne Thomas, reactivated this past week. And he is anticipating a short kick on the part of Pete Gogolak. Pete Gogolak, who has just tied up this football game with a 35-yard field goal. And he does kick it short. Mike Ditka with the football. Ditka over the 35 to about the 38. The Cowboys will take over. 1st and 10, Joe Green down to make the tackle. I don't think that was so much an attempt at an onside kick. It was just an attempt to keep the ball away from Cliff Harris and Dwayne Thomas. 2 fine speedsters for the Dallas Cowboys. On 1st and 10, Roger Staubach. Pass Allworth in the backfield. Now in motion. Walt Garrison behind Blaine Nye. The bottom of the pile, Bob Lurtzman, number 71. Garrison with a pickup of about 3.5 to 4 yards. Ball resting on the Cowboys' 43-yard line. 6 minutes and 9 seconds remain. Looking at Freddie Dryer, Roland Lakes, number 76. The defensive right side of the Giants 4-3. Out to the left comes Allworth. Billy Truex, the tight end, splits at the top of your screen. Bob Hayes drops into the slot. The screen to Garrison. Douglas is there. John Douglas, helped out by Roland Lakes. Douglas, number 51, a former Dallas Cowboy.
He may have worked on that in practice, Frank, because he played it very well. That was a fake screen to the right to Calvin Hill, and they came back to the left with Garrison.
3rd down now, 3rd down and 8 we'll make it 3rd down and 7 for Roger Staubach. Billy Truex is his tight end, number 87. Lance Allworth is his flanker. Out to the right goes Bob Hayes, number 22. He'll work against Pete Athos. Cowboys into their own unusual formation. This is Lance Allworth in motion left. Staubach has Hayes. Athos is there, but Hayes moves into Giant territory at the 37.
Really a good move by Bobby. You watch him take Pete Athos down. He goes, tries to get up inside of him. He comes back, breaks to the outside. Pete Athos was also with Dallas at one time, and I'm sure he's seen Bobby run deep. He's going to give him plenty of room. That ball was well thrown. Good route by Hayes.
Well, they're going to work on Athos much of the night, obviously, because of his inexperience, but I think Frank made the critical point earlier. We should be looking for a lot of Giant double coverage on both Hayes and Allworth that was missing in that case.
That's what the Cowboys are trying to do to keep the Giants away from double coverage. That's why they move these men around. Garrison. Number 58, Jim Files, the middle linebacker for the Giants, there for the stop and a big pickup. And this is what I sort of anticipated the Cowboys would come out with in the first place.
I did, too. I feel that last week Coach Landry was not pleased with his entire play of the offense or the defense, and he has emphasized all week we're going to go right at them. We're going to learn to block, go back to tackling. I've heard him say it before. Let's get back to the basics.
2nd down, a long 5. The quick pop attempt to number 87, Billy Truex. Jim Files makes a stop, and Tom Landry doesn't like that.
Look at Tommy. Tommy. He didn't like it.
No, he didn't like it, but he's got Truax in there instead of Ditka because last week, Ditka against Washington displeased him with his blocking or absence thereof.
That's what the paper says.
Third down now and 5 as we look at the Giants sideline. Bobby Duhan, 28, Joe Morrison, 13-year veteran, played 6 different positions for the Giants over the years. We look now as Roger Staubach as a third down and 6. Hayes comes to the left. Calvin Hill moves into the slot. Allworth will go right. All this in the attempt to get man-on-man coverage. Staubach, he'll run, and he's a good one. Staubach for the first down at the Giants' 27-yard line. Ralph Heck forcing Staubach out of bounds. But this crowd likes that.
Yep, very exciting, but only a pale image of the Meredith of yesteryear in a similar situation.
Oh, me. You know, he did have man-to-man coverage that time, Frank. I don't know whether he felt that his timing was off or what it was. He brought it down and decided to run, did pick up the first down, but he did have man-to-man coverage in the secondary. So he did accomplish what that unusual formation was concerned. I think it was pointed out in the last 3 games the Cowboys have used 22 different offensive formations or offensive sets. So they do move them around.
Well, they moved them around already this evening. 4:20 remains in the first quarter. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys on the Giants' 26-yard line. This time it works. Billy Truax inside the Giants' 15. Carl Lockhart makes the stop, number 43.
The Cowboys, from that I formation in which they run on a quick count or own set, were instructed to run basically or approximately 10% of the time from that formation to keep the Giant defense alert. So we'll see if our statisticians can see if Roger is accurate in his carrying out his instructions to do that about 10% of the time. That play was wide open, incidentally.
1st and 10 for the Cowboys on the Giants' 13-yard line. It's tied up 3 apiece here at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. Roger Staubach moving his football team all over the lot. This is Allworth now coming motion left. Handoff goes to Garrison. Garrison to about the 12-yard line. Ralph Heck is there. Lockhart, Joe Green. Joe Green, 33.
Walt Garrison took over from, in my opinion, one of the better fullbacks that ever played. 190 pounds, 5'10" and a half, stretching real hard. That was Don Perkins. Walt Garrison is probably a little bit faster than Perkins. He has carried the ball 4 times tonight for 16 yards. He's real quick. He's got good moves. He's a great pass receiver, and they utilize him in all those departments tonight. He's a bulldogger, a calf roper, a bear buck bronc rider, and a heck of a guy. All those things make you good guys, by the way.
2nd down and 5 now for the Cowboys. Allworth again, motion left. This is Calvin Hill. John Nyland blocking out front. What a block he made. Calvin Hill to the 4-yard line. You saw 76 John Nyland lay a crushing block on the Giants cornerback.
You also saw Calvin Hill say, hey, I need you, and he waited a little bit, which is also the mark of a great back. Let's take another look at it. Calvin Hill, number 35, 76, as Frank pointed out, is John Nyland. This play looks like it's going to be closed off. You'll see Calvin wait a minute, and then watch this block by Nyland. Well, that was Willie Williams. It looked like he blocked. And here he goes. Calvin Hill, truly a great back. Rookie of the Year 2 years ago. What do you think? Excuse me.
Webster on the sideline has sent in his goal line defense. Ron Hornsby has come in. Henry Reed has come in.
They like the sweeps, and here they come.
Ron Hornsby. Very close to the first down. Did appear as if he picked up enough yardage for the first down. A tough runner he is. Calvin Hill.
I'd like the viewers to take a good look at Ron Hornsby when he's in there during the course of the evening. Number 67. He was the Giants' 3rd-round draft choice, and he was very highly regarded at the College All-Star Camp earlier this year, and he's viewed as a first-rate prospect by everybody in pro football. You're looking at young Hornsby now, number 67. Again, a reminder that these teams are both 2-1. That they trail the Redskins under the brilliant leadership of George Allen, who are already at 4-0. So this is a critical contest. A loser tonight falls 2 games behind Mr. Allen's group, and that's not a happy position to be in.
I think this is a very good decision on Coach Landry's part. It's 4th down and less than a foot to go. A lot of coaches say, let's try to kick a field goal. He really doesn't have a good angle. Let's see, it's 4th down, probably a straight handoff right in the middle.
But he's got good runners. He needs about a foot. Calvin Hill. He should have it. And he bobbled the football. And it appeared at the bottom of the pile that Calvin Hill had fumbled the football. He did have the necessary yardage. Calvin Hill apparently held on to the football at the bottom of that pile. The Giants indicated they had recovered. So it'll be first and goal now for the Cowboys. The ball resting on the Giants' 2-yard line. Out to the right goes Allward. Garrison, 32. Calvin Hill, 35. The setbacks.
Watch for a sweep. Look out.
Staubach fumbles. He falls on the ball at the 10-yard line. Just a simple, bad exchange from center.
You get a little nervous down there, but you're paid to get nervous and handle it.
All right, the Giants go out of their goal line defense.
Let's see what happens. See if it's between the... It looked as if possibly the guard knocked the ball loose from Staubach's hand after he had taken the snap from center. Coach Landry and Rayfield Wright.
Second down now, the ball on the 10-yard line. Allward motions right. The toss to Calvin Hill. Talbert, 72, with a fine block as Hill moves to the 5-yard line. Ralph Neely, number 73, all the way over from his left side tackle position out in front of that. Pickup of about 5 yards. Jim Kanicki on the sidelines, number 73, trying to decide whether the Giants want to go into their goal line defense. Jim Cabbage waving out on the field, the former Giant defensive end. The ball is 3rd and 5. They will not go into their goal line defense. Out to the right is Hayes, to the left, Allworth. Staubach looking and in trouble. Now he gets away. Staubach over the 5 to about the 3, and he bobbled the ball, but was he down? He was not. The Cowboys have fumbled. The Giants take over.
Incredible.
Wow. I thought he was going to shoot him.
Really something, isn't it?
Unbelievable. A continuing ineptitude.
3 fumbles in the first period, and that's the end of the first quarter here at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. The score of the Giants 3, the Cowboys 3.
This is Ford's Pinto 3-door runabout. Different where it counts. We finish Pinto with 5 coats of paint so it can fight off the salt air of Maine. And we made Pinto small enough for maneuvering through New York traffic. We designed Pinto to start easily on December mornings in Minnesota. We made Pinto roomy enough for tall Texas drivers. We gave Pinto the strength to climb the Rockies. Pinto was made to stop quickly in emergencies on Los Angeles freeways. And for windy days on the Golden Gate Bridge, we gave Pinto a wider track than the leading import. The Pinto 3-door runabout. See it at your Ford dealers. Pinto, different where it counts. Another better idea from Ford.
This is the play that just ended the first period.
Watch Walt Garrison. As we know, Staubach is scrambling here. He is on green, number 33. You'll see him open in here. This is a tough decision for a quarterback to make, but my goodness, he's wide open. There he is. Now we're going to show you the fumble. Rogers decided to run, and there's the fumble. And it was a fumble, and I believe it was covered by Dreyer, wasn't it?
The Giants will take over. 1st and 10, the ball on their own 4-yard line. Cowboys missing a golden opportunity for at least 3 points. They had driven from their own 38-yard line, 13 plays. Staubach fumbling at the 4. The Giants now take over. First play of the second period. The score tied 3 apiece. Parkington all the way at quarterback. Rich Houston, number 84, comes to the left in motion. Parkington going from the end zone and throwing it away.
You're exactly right.
He sure did.
And a very good move by Tarkington.
The attempt to Joe Morrison, who was double covered on the right side as we look at the official statistics of the first quarter. Dallas Cowboys, 21 offensive plays, the Giants 10. But it's tied at 3 apiece, and that's what counts. Right, Don?
That's it. You can run them all day between those 20s. You got to do something with them when you get down there.
For the Giants, 2nd down and 10. Ball on their own 4. Fran Tarkenton never missed a football game in 10 years of play. Playing his 143rd game this evening. Running hard.
Unbelievable.
Is Bobby Duhan.
He almost broke it.
Harris is there, number 43. Renfro, 20. Big pop coming up on the left side behind the block of Bob Hyland, Willie Young, and Greg Larson for the Giants.
Those guys did open up a good one. Mel Renfro that came in from his halfback position.
Just short of the first down, 3rd and about a yard. Out of the lineup is Clifton McNeil. The Giants bringing in number 87, Dick Kotite, another tight end, along with number 38, Bob Tucker, 2 tight ends in for blocking on short yardage. Houston comes left. Morrison, he'll go nowhere. Bob Lilly nails Morrison at the 10-yard line.
Oh, he can do that. Usually they put 2 men on him, but he's got a way of slipping around them. He's extremely quick. It's been pointed out many times. I suppose if he has a number 1 great asset, that would be it. Closely followed by only great assets, but he is a great one. I've used that 7 times. That means Bob Lilly's great. He is.
We could use it another 7 because he truly is. On to punt for the Giants from his own end zone, Tom Blanchard, the rookie from Oregon. And deep, number 41, Charlie Waters, and number 43, Cliff Harris for the Cowboys. Waters, the nearest to you. Cliff Harris at his own 45. He'll try and get around behind the picket line. And he almost fumbles the football.
This is unreal. They recovered, but I'll tell you, this is unreal.
The bottom of that pile, I believe, is Steve Alexicos. And with timeout, the score is the Giants 3, the Cowboys 3.
Now's the time to make sure you've got the kind of tire you need to go this winter. And look at what you've got going for you with Firestone's Town & Country Snow Tire. Now's the time to buy Town & Country's at your Firestone dealers. Beat the snow sale. Buy 1 Town & Country at the regular exchange price. And you get the 2nd Town & Country at half price. All sizes, black or white stripe. Use your Bank AmeriCard, MasterCharge, or Firestone Unicharge. Firestone, the mileage specialist.
Here's a child whose father loves shaving so much, he won't let him in the bathroom. Look at him. What causes this? Only Schick Super Chromium. It's so comfortable you'll actually look forward to your next shave.
Your boots need polishing. Sorry, sir. Your buckle needs shining. Sorry, sir. And you need a shave.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
What makes the soldier so happy? Only Schick Super Chromium. It's so comfortable you'll actually look forward to your next shave.
The Cowboys, as we look on, Cowboys have recovered their fumble, their 3rd fumble of the ball game. They lost 1. Giants have fumbled twice. They've lost both of them. Cowboys 1st and 10. Now the ball on their own 48-yard line. Again, moving around. Back looking for Allworth. Allworth. The ball was picked off by Athos, but he was out of bounds. In and out of the hands of Allworth. And a brilliant career Allworth has had over the years. As we look at the little rookie, I won't call him little, but he's not the biggest. 6 feet, 184 pounds.
Frank, I'm beginning to think that Dunn puts the whammy on this old ball club. We came in here last year and saw massive evidence of futility, and so far the Cowboys, it's very early yet, we admit, are simply not playing their game.
Well, why are you blaming me, Howard?
It's about time.
2nd down and 10 from the 48. Calvin Hill running hard, moves across the 50-yard line to about the 48. There's one of those pretties you have down here, Don, you've been telling me about.
No, I think that's... Chet has something to do with that.
Pickup of about 4 yards for Calvin Hill. Third down now and 7. The ball inside Giant territory at the 48-yard line. Roger Staubach going all the way. 12 minutes and 30 seconds remain in the first half. You can call that formation what you want. Allworth goes motion. It's time for Bob Hayes. Athos is there for the tackle.
Good catch by Bobby.
Great catch by Bob Hayes.
Sure caught his, looked like he got a real hard fall. Came back, hit his head on the hard turf there. We'll take him. He's going out on sideline route. Making a move. This is Athos. Pete Athos coming here. Bob goes up, keeps his eye on the ball. That's a heck of a catch. Watch his back of his head. Wow. And he is down there. We'll take one look at it again. He fakes a play pattern. It was in a double wing set. Good protection. Roger throws sideline route. And what a fall. Realize he jumps about 3 feet. He's about 6 feet. Well, that's falling 10 feet almost and hitting right on your head.
Cowboys moving again. They have a 1st and 10 on the Giants' 34-yard line. This is Calvin Hill with a big hole. Spinning and twisting. Douglas makes the tackle. John Douglas, number 51, coming over. Dave Manders with a fine block, as did Rayfield Wright of the Cowboys.
John, that's what Troubleson understands so far as we watch
Jim Files.
Watch Jim Files, number 58, as Hill comes through, slides right off Jimmy, and moves on for the game. You know that Dallas offensive line can move the Giant defensive line. It's a great offensive line. I thought they'd run every play.
1 second and 2. Allworth coming motion right. This is Garrison trying to cut back. He fumbles the football.
Freddie Dreyer,
Freddie Dreyer has the football. 89 of the Giants with the football. And how about this for an exhibition? That is the 4th Dallas fumble.
We have played something less than 20 minutes in this football game. The Cowboys have fumbled 4 times. The Giants have fumbled twice. Take another look at it, Don.
Well, it's Walt Garrison, a 37 switch off tackle block, but he just didn't have that ball tucked away. Hit him pretty good.
I'll tell you, he was hit hard. Jim Files really popped him. That's the way I see it. Jim Files moving in really put a popper on him.
Yeah, he really did. He hit him right with a carrying the ball.
1st and 10 for the Giants from their own 24-yard line. Out to the left, McNeil. Tarkin straight drop back. Looking for the screen to Duhan. Flag goes down as Duhan moves across the 30-yard line. Could have been either a clip or a hold.
Looks like Bob Tucker, number 38, Frank. We don't want to anticipate, but Bob ran over and complained bitterly to the official.
Well, it's going to be expensive for the Giants. The clipping call. And I believe you were correct, Howard. Bob Tucker. At least he was complaining that he did not clip.
Actually, I think he does clip, and it's 52. Dave Edwards is the one that he clips. We'll see Fran as he shoots a little bit, throws it out. You'll watch Duhan take it. And there it is right there. It's frozen. That was 38. Tucker. And good call with the official.
1st down now and 21. McNeil to the left. Parkinson wants to go deep. He has Houston there. Oh, and he can't hold on to the football. Rich Houston had thoroughly beaten Herb Adderley, and Tarkenton hit him dead in stride.
A marvelous throw by Fran, and he's having tough luck with Houston, who scintillated the opening game of the season against Green Bay, but who last week against St. Louis missed one all alone down in the end zone.
He must have had Adderley by about 5 yards on that one. We'll take a look at it if we can. Here's Fran. This ball travels close to 60 yards, and he's got Adderley by about 5. He just dropped it.
I don't think it could have been thrown any better.
Nope, it was right on the money.
In defense of Rich Houston, that is the longest walk back to any huddle you'll ever take.
That's not defense. That's an embarrassment.
I've been there. It is embarrassing. Ben, hang your head down a little bit. Say, I'm really sorry, Charlie. Why? All right, Tarkenton now with the 2nd and 21. Ball on the Giants' 13-yard line. McNeil left, Houston. McNeil right now, Houston left. This is Morrison in motion. Duhan running hard. Big Bob Lilly, number 74, was there. Just dropped him like a play. 10 minutes and 4 seconds remain in the first half. Now Tarkenton will have a 3rd and 21. And we'll remind you that this Saturday on ABC, NCAA football, the Longhorns of Texas will take on the Razorbacks of Arkansas in Little Rock, Arkansas. That's this Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time here on ABC. And they'll be smart, won't they, Howard?
They sure will be. The Oklahomans didn't leave this town after what the Sooners did to the Longhorns until this morning. They had a big weekend.
On 3rd and 21, Tarkenton motioning to Houston. Pressure. George Andre made the tackle. The pressure from Jethro Pugh. Andre, 66.
Now, on the basis of what's happened thus far, Don is studying the gridiron in search of still another fumble.
And on 4th down, Tom Blanchard will come back into the ball game, dropping deep for the Cowboys. Number 41, Charlie Waters. Cliff Harris, 43. Blanchard kicking from his own end zone. All tied, 3 apiece here at the Cotton Bowl. Low kick, the kind that can hurt. Oh, Harris is upset. 39-yard punt, 16-yard return. Cowboys moving to good field position. They'll have 1st and 10 on the Giants' 34-yard line. An NFL Monday Night Football, the New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys, continues from the Cotton Bowl with the score, New York 3, Dallas 3.
We have all kinds of cars in our family, but we all use Sunoco. Because only Sunoco puts 260, highest octane gasoline at any station, into every gallon from regular up. You take Cousin Tex in his big car. This here baby needs premium, and only Sunoco has some of that highest octane 260 blended right in.
My car runs on regular, and only Sunoco regular's got 260 in it.
Now, my car needs more octane than regular, and only Sunoco has a middle premium with 260 action. More octane than regular, costs less than premium. There's a great gasoline for everyone at Sunoco's custom blending pump. It blends some 260 into every gallon of premium, middle premiums, even regular. So if you want performance for your car, join the gang at Sunoco.
Howdy, Cuz. Nice to see you.
Get Sunoco 260 Action. Action to be used, not abused.
From the Goodyear blimp, America, where our pilot, Don Polinsnak, is circling over the Cotton Bowl. That's our situation. Don Polinsnak. Polskanak.
That's close
That's
enough.
better. Polskanak. Well, they gave us a good shot. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. They're inside Giant territory again. They have the ball on the Giants' 34-yard line. Roger Staubach going all the way. Lance Allworth, motion left. This is Garrison. Garrison moving to about the 30-yard line. Jerry Shea, 75 there. Bob Lurchman, 71 for the Giants on the stop.
Wouldn't be surprised to see him at least attempt to take it all the way in on the ground.
Yep.
You watch him come back out and start trying to throw right now, but they do need to establish this. This is what they were lacking last week, and this supposedly was what their game plan was tonight. We're going to run. Let's see what they do.
Out to the left goes Allworth on 2nd down and 6. Calvin Hill, and Calvin Hill upset by Freddie Dreyer, number 89.
Good move by Dreyer. He came in under that one and got it.
Excellent. That's one of the interesting matchups of the night. Neely against Dreyer.
Neely's been up against some good ones, and he's usually come out on the tall score of that thing, but Dreyer made a good move that time, came in there under him.
3rd down now and 4 for the Cowboys. Dallas with 26 plays, 95 yards to New York 17 plays here in the first half, and 50 yards. 3rd and 4. Hayes goes left, Allworth right. Hayes will be covered by Willie Williams. Allworth by Athens. Staubach will be wiped out at the 35. Good pressure. Ralph Heck coming on the blitz from his linebacking position. Fred Dreyer pressuring, and Carl Lockhart coming on the safety blitz.
Frank, we've seen the Cowboys blow so many opportunities with great field position tonight. One must openly wonder about the efficacy of the 2-quarterback system. It doesn't seem possible, really, to sustain consistency of leadership and consistency of team timing and rhythm when you play different quarterbacks weekly and they're different types. Morton a drop back and Staubach more of a scrambler.
Mike Clark will attempt the field goal from the 41-yard line, and in the end zone, Rocky Thompson. Well, you saw it bouncing off the crossbar, the supporting crossbar. Mike Clark hits on his second field goal. Mike Clark hit earlier on a 42-yard field goal. He just now hit on a 41-yarder. You know, most people never think about it, but a number of football fans who follow the NFL each week are not able to see the games. Those of you who have a visual or a physical handicap might like to know that NFL season schedules are available free in Braille, and books on football and talking book records also are available. Those interested are invited to write to the Library of Congress, Division for the Blind and Physically Handicapped, that's Washington, D.C., 20542. And it's fair time in Dallas, Texas. This is a view from the Goodyear Blimp, America.
That's really pretty, you know.
It is.
First time I ever came to Dallas was to see the State Fair, the 4-H Club.
Mike Clark kicks off. This is Rocky Thompson at the 2. Thompson over the 20 where he's upended at about the 22. Dwayne Thomas again hustling downfield along with Danny Reeves, number 30. Thomas, 33.
You know, Danny Reeves is the coach, and he was talking to him today. He says, man, I can't believe it. I thought coaching was going to be a lot of fun. I never was on a kicking team in my life. They've got him on the kicking team. He's a backup quarterback. He's a backup runner. He's a backup receiver. I said, what do you think about that? He says, I think I'm just a backup. He's a great athlete.
I guess he puts himself where he likes to put other people down.
I don't know.
Not afraid to go there.
Yeah.
First and 10 for the Giants. They have the ball on their only 22-yard line. Motion is Duhan. Tarkenton hits Duhan. Duhan draws a crowd. Number 20, Mel Renfro, is there. Cliff Harris coming up. Pickup of about 3.
There's our young friend, Fred Dreyer, considered by many undersized at the defensive end position, but a very great athlete, always surprising, capable of the good pass rush. Some feel that if positioned at corner linebacker, he would quickly become another Mad Stark Hendricks. Taking a little oxygen there.
And out on the field, Fran Tarkenton is faced with a second down and 6. Tarkenton now 7 of 10 to 31 yards. The ball on his own 24-yard line. Moves Duhan into the slot. It's Houston as flags go down. Cowboys moving across the line of scrimmage where they've drawn off.
There's a lot of traffic on both sides. You saw Tarkenton trying to tell his boys where to line up. After they lined up, you could see Leroy Jordan, who is responsible for calling the defensive audibles, changing his defensive alignment as Tarkenton changed his offense. It was almost a delay of the game, but the Cowboys were drawn off. Looks like George Andre was the culprit.
You suppose these two teams spent the day at the State Fair?
I doubt that. There were a lot of people out here, though.
There's a man who didn't. He had expected his number 1 runner, Ron Johnson, would be back today. It was ruled that he could not play physically. He was put on the move list. He'll be out for another 2 weeks. On second down now and 12. Tarkenton on the straight drop back. Firing for McNeil. He has him at the 29-yard line. Short of the first down. Mel Renfro defending. Clifton McNeil, the Giants' leading receiver of a year ago with 50 receptions. 1968, he led the National Football League in receptions with San Francisco. Here you're going to get an idea of Fran Tarkenton's respect for the Dallas defense. He has a third, and we'll call it a long 2 for a first down.
That's a pretty tough decision to be in. Fran's done a fine job tonight running that ball club.
Rocky Thompson looking on. And he will throw. He's going for the bundle. He has Houston. Houston steps out of bounds. Houston inside Dallas territory to the 34-yard line, and I'll tell you, that's a gutsy call.
That's a gutsy call, and it really looked easy. I don't know how he got behind.
He beat Mel Renfro handsomely.
This guy's got some speed or some moves or something. Rich Houston, number 84. Good move, and it was a good call.
He is a speedster.
It's tough to pick up those two real tough yards. You'll see him again. Comes back. That's just a straight drop back, not a play action or anything. I don't know what it is. Straight, call a fly or takeoff route. We'll watch him. He's behind him. And right there, he steps out of bounds.
The interesting thing about Richie is that they had apparently a year ago given up on him as a wide receiver. 2 years ago, he showed promise. He spent all of training this year on defense, then opened against Green Bay and blew the game open on offense back at wide receiver.
On 1st and 10, the Giants have the football on the Cowboys' 35-yard line. The sprint out, the draw back to Joe Morrison. Morrison breaking tackles, moves inside the 25-yard line. Finally dropped there by Jethro Pugh, number 75, coming all the way over from his left side.
It is surprising to find the Giants doing this against a very great Dallas team, or at least very great personnel. Morrison continues to be an amazing player. Aging Joey Morrison, the all-purpose football player. He can play anywhere. Football fans around the country know that. He always has. He remains, to this day, without foot speed, a very wise runner and a very wise receiver.
He is all of that and more. He's never missed the football game because of an injury. Rare for a running back. 1st and 10 for the Giants. The ball on the Cowboys' 24-yard line. Going for McNeil, overthrows. McNeil with Adderley beat to the outside. 6 minutes and 12 seconds remain to be played in the first half. Francis Tarkenton, 9 of 13, 69%. Over 210 touchdown passes in his career. And some of this crowd of over 60,000 looking on. Giants with the football. They have a 2nd down and 10. Ball resting. The Cowboys, 23.5-yard line. 6 minutes and 12 seconds remain in the first half. Out to the right goes McNeil. Over McNeil to the left. Now, Duhan in motion right. All alone is Bob Tucker. Tucker out of bounds at the 3-yard line.
They're really moving their formations around and just eating that defense up.
That's what they did there, John. The Cowboys didn't even know really what was coming.
I believe it was a mistake. We'll try it again. Let's see Tucker come out. You'll see Dave Edwards, 52, changing. That's an audible. You see Cornell Green, number 34, coming up. He's not supposed to come up. That's his man. It looked as if Cornell might try to blitz that time. I think they had a blitz call with he and Dave Edwards both going. Whether Tarkington read that or not, I don't know. But if he didn't read it, he sure adjusted to it well. He completed his 10th pass.
10 out of 14, 71%, 94 net yards thus far.
And more important, a 1st and goal for the Giants at the 3-yard line of the Cowboys. Duhan behind Joe Morrison. He's met at the line of scrimmage, hurdles for maybe a yard. Dave Edwards, 52, on piles. 74, Bob Lilly is there. Duhan moving to the 1-yard line. Pat Toomey has come in, number 67 for the Cowboys. As we look down from the Goodyear blimp, our pilot, Don Polskanak, giving us a fine view.
Don't forget the camera's man's old Bill Sullivan up there.
Well, they got 200,000 cubic feet of helium, but we got a football game.
It's 2nd down, the ball on the 1-yard line. Duhan again, and this time tripped up. 75, Jethro Pugh slipping through. Giants insistent on running to that right side behind Charlie Harper and Doug Van Horn against Jethro Pugh and Larry Cole of the Cowboys.
Of course, what the Cowboys must be intimately aware of is that so often Fran runs it in himself.
That's our situation. With 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining, the Cowboys out in front. 2 Mike Clark field goals. The Giants hitting on a Pete Gogolak field goal. And this will be play 10 of this drive. 3rd down, and it doesn't get easier. Down goes Tarkington. Cornell Green coming in from his safety position, if you'll call it that, in a goal line defense.
The flow in the backfield went away from Cornell. His assignment, when he doesn't have anybody come out of the backfield, rush the passer. That's from a safety position, and that's exactly what he did. You saw the flow came away from him. There's no one to block him. He comes after the quarterback.
Cornell Green has just taken away the touchdown field position for the Giants. Pete Gogolak has come on. Fine defensive effort by the Cowboys within their own 5-yard line. Gogolak, who has already kicked the 35-yard field goal, will now attempt one from the 20. It's up. And it's good. Right through the uprights, Pete Gogolak. In NFL Monday Night Football, the New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys continues from the Cotton Bowl. With the score, New York 6, Dallas 6.
America. Merrill Lynch is bullish on America. In the years ahead, we see America growing in many different ways, and we want you to share in America's growth. That's why we've moved into different kinds of investments, not just stocks, but bonds, mutual funds, real estate, and more. Merrill Lynch has a lot of different ways to put your money to work. America. Merrill Lynch is bullish on America.
Pete Gogolak has just kicked a 20-yard field goal to tie this football game up. 6-6. Deep for the Cowboys, Dwayne Thomas, 33. Cliff Harris, number 43. This crowd would like to see Dwayne Thomas get his hands on the football. He will not. This is Cliff Harris at the 2. Harris breaking to the outside.
Did you see that block Dwayne Thomas threw?
Yeah, that was a good one.
He's in there to play.
Cliff Harris from Ouachita Baptist up in Arkansas.
Dave Roller upending Cliff Harris. The 27-yard kickoff return will give the Cowboys a 1st and 10 on their own 29-yard line. Out to the left goes Bob Hayes. Lance Allworth comes to the right. 4 minutes, 15 seconds remain to be played in the first half. Staubach going deep for Bob Hayes, and he's there, and he drops the football. Bob Hayes drops the football at the 20-yard line. He had to wait for it.
Yeah, he did.
Willie Williams coming back to recover, but he did not get a hand on the football. Don, would it be physically possible with a good 7-yard pass drop to overthrow Bob Hayes going down from the sidelines with that speed?
Yeah, it is, Frank. I've heard that before, but you can drop back and you can't outthrow him, and he is fast. You'll see him there on a 7-yard drop, make a fake. Roger can throw the ball further than that, than he threw that one right there. That was a little bit late. It did get there about the same time that Spider Lockhart did, coming in from his free safety.
I'm sure that Roger Staubach will not forget that play. 4 minutes remain to be played in the first half. 2nd down and 10 for the Cowboys. The ball on their own 29-yard line. Allworth right, Hayes left. Firing for Allworth. Off target is Roger Staubach. Flag is down at the line of scrimmage.
A little too high or a little too low. Doesn't make for a good offensive show. I just made a poem.
You are a poet. Tommy Bell talks to Carl Lockhart, the acting captain on the field for the Giants.
They're going to step it off. It is a biggie.
Unless the Cowboys can get off a biggie in the way of a gain, they're going to find themselves with 4 minutes and 2 seconds still remaining in the half, facing another Tarkenton offensive with not too bad field position for the Giants. Then.
Offensive holding, the third 15-yard penalty against the Dallas Cowboys. 4 minutes and 2 seconds remain now in the first half. Otto Brown, number 21, has come into the lineup for the Giants in the prevent defense. 2nd down, 25. Staubach looking. Oh, and he fires out to Bob Hayes, who is really upended.
Oh, Bobby catches him. They've been making him pay for him tonight. He's hung on to a couple of good ones.
Pete Athens moving up to make the stop.
You'll also see Staubach utilizing Coach Landry's theory. Let's try to get half of it first. And he goes down. They had 25 to go. He's trying to pick up about 15. Good sideline pattern. The Giants had gone into their prevent defense. They had taken out one of their linemen and sent on another back. So they had a lot of folks running back in that secondary. He did work to the outside.
Third down now. It was 2nd and 25. Keep in mind, it's now 3rd and 9. Out to the left is Allworth. Hayes to the right. Giants in the prevent defense. Staubach will run. Files misses. Staubach up to the 39-yard line. And he'll be very close to the first down, depending upon where they mark the football. Joe Green there on the stop. Staubach does not like where the official puts that football. Well, we'll have an interesting situation because I think this is going to be about a foot short. And that will bring up a 4th down, if indeed it is short, as it is. And Tom Landry says
Tom's going to punt. The fans don't like it, but at least now they'll be punting from reasonable position, and the Giants won't be well situate in terms of field position, barring a long rundown.
Of course.
Has to be a good call, though, for head coach Tom Landry. Sends out his punter, Ron Whitby. That's his average for the evening, if you can call one an average. We will. 1 for 53, Ron Whitby, and he is a good punter. Dropping deep for the Giants. Number 28, Bobby Duhan, and number 43, Carl Lockhart. Looking on from the sidelines, Tom Landry and his starting quarterback of this evening, Roger Staubach. High kick for Whitby. Fair catch indicated by Duhan at the 22.
Wise decision by Duhan. Had a lot of white jerseys around him.
It does attract a crowd. 2 minutes and 40 seconds remain to be played in the first half. 39-yard punt. You know, this week you can really get to know 4 of the top stars in the entertainment world in a series of special 90-minute interviews on The Dick Cavett Show. Tomorrow night, meet Anthony Quinn. Wednesday night, Fred Astaire. Thursday night, Peter Ustinov. Friday night, Charlton Heston. 4 very special people on 4 very special nights. That's on The Dick Cavett Show. 1st and 10 for the Giants from their own 22-yard line. Now this time, Adderley will be well back, and Tarkenton very wisely throws it out of bounds.
Francis. It's very seldom that Fran Tarkenton had a bad day against Dallas. He usually keeps it interesting.
I think part of the reason being, Don, that he moves around so much, and we started to get into it earlier, but if you move around a lot against Dallas, they are a very definite and a very well-drilled, keying defensive team. If you can change those keys around a little bit, it does cause a little bit of confusion.
That is exactly right.
2nd down, now and 10. Tarkenton, up to Bobby Duhan. Duhan scrambling for yardage up to almost the 30-yard line. Make it to 29. No, Renfro there.
Perhaps there should be a reminder, Frank, that the Giants are playing without their top 2 backs, Ron Johnson and Tucker Frederickson. Tucker was earlier placed on the move list because of a leg injury, and of course, Ron was placed on the move list today.
And NFL Monday Night Football, the New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys, continues from the Cotton Bowl with the score: New York 6, Dallas 6.
If you think shaving your chin is hard, how do you think I feel? Up here, you really worry when the razor drags or pulls or scrapes. No more. I hardly feel this shave. I'm using Rapid Shave's new lubricating lather. It puts a coating of lubrication between skin and blade so the razor slides like a sled on snow. Smooth. How does it look? Rapid Shave's new lubricating lather. When it comes to your chin, use your head.
Now's the time to make sure you've got the kind of tire you need to go this winter. And look at what you've got going for you with Firestone's Town & Country Snow Tire. Now's the time to buy Town & Country's at your Firestone dealers. Beat the snow sale. Buy one Town & Country at the regular exchange price. And you get the second Town & Country at half price. All sizes, black or white stripes. Use your Bank AmeriCard, MasterCharge, or Firestone Unicharge. Firestone, the mileage specialist.
2 minutes remain to be played in the Cotton Bowl. 2 minutes remain to be played in the first half as we look at the score. The Giants 6, Cowboys 6. No touchdowns in the first half, and you'll see a lot of football games, pro football games, that you will not see that. But again, we have 2 minutes to be played in this first half. The Giants, with their 3-time outs, have the football at the 24-yard line, their own 24-yard line. Fran Tarkenton with a productive night in completions, not much yardage, but he's had one drop that possibly would have been a touchdown. McNeil left, Houston right. Duhan in the slot. The spread out draw. Morrison up over the 30, and he's waffled at just about the 30-yard line. Chuck Howley and Jethro Pugh coming over to stop Morrison. And that will bring up fourth down. The Giants will have to put it over to the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys with their 3 timeouts remaining.
The Cowboys coming into this game, Frank, with the third-ranked offensive team in the National Football Conference. And they have not really displayed that ability so far tonight. So maybe they'll do it in this 2-minute drill. We'll see how they come out.
The deep men to accept Tom Blanchard's punt, number 41, Charlie Waters, Cliff Harris, 43. Good high kick. Harris will field it at the 22. It's good block. Getting away from tackles, Cliff Harris. Finally dropped by Pat Hughes, 56.
Great block by Cornell Green, as you pointed out. Cornell was the one that really got that thing started.
All right, we'll see what the Cowboys can do with 1 minute and 5 remaining. They have their 3 timeouts. Roger Staubach comes over to the sidelines. Apparently, they have elected to use one of their timeouts. There's the conference that's going on. Don, you've been in many talks like this, haven't you?
Well, the thing they've got is it's a 2-minute drill that they use. They have plays in for this period. A couple of them like a middle screen. They'll try to hit the middle. You'll try to utilize plays to the middle. He'll call a timeout. A lot of times he'll call 2 plays in a huddle. I imagine that's what he's going to do to start off. He'll call 2 plays. He has time to get these things going out. He'll explain to his team, all right, I'm going to go down the middle the first time. We're going to complete it. We run such and such play. If the play is incomplete, I'll come back and do it again. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of drills for this. But this is one of the things that the Cowboys, in my opinion, do very well. They're extremely well coached and well drilled. And all these, there's Craig Martin, number 14, coming in. I guess Craig just came in to say, hey. Hey, Rod.
Fran Tarkenton on the sidelines, going over with Jim Garrett, the offensive coach.
Those are little films, actually, the Polaroid film that they drop down from the huddle. They'll take from up here in the press box to show the defensive movement on certain situations. It's a great aid to the quarterbacks. You'll say, well, Fran, when you ran this, they did this. Now, what we expected them to do was something else. So it is a great coaching aid.
Cowboys, 1st and 10 from their own 41-yard line. Back. Billy Truax.
He's going hit Truax, across the middle. Truax is going in the direction of the sideline. Had he not had the opportunity to go outside, I think you would have seen the Cowboys line up and run another play. He did go out of bounds and stop the clock. He had 3 receivers going to the outside, and this is, again, a 2-minute period, as we mentioned. When they get down pretty close, you'll see the Giants go back into a basic defense, and the Cowboys will then go back to their basic offensive formation.
All right, 1st and 10 now for the Cowboys. The ball on the Giants' 33-yard line. Staubach again, looking deep. Fires it down to the 20-yard line.
Now he'll call a timeout. Timeout, ref. Come on, Tommy Bell. Where are you? They call timeout.
Joe Green there to make the stop.
I think a lot of people watched in this 2-minute period. It's been brought up how some quarterbacks are very good and some seem to be not so good. It also has a lot to do with the people that you have to play with. And the Giants may play a certain type of defense that enables the Cowboys to do something very well. They're bringing Truax out now, sending in Mike Ditka, who is certainly an adequate replacement. He started last week. This is the first game that Mike has not started at tight end. But the Cowboys have a veritable plethora of talent. We'll use it one more time.
Extremely well spoken.
Thank you.
There is our situation, all tied up. 50 seconds remain to be played. Polaroid shots being observed on the sidelines. Those pictures are actually snapped just as the ball is snapped, and it reveals give you an indication of the defensive set. Willie Young, the tackle, trying to get a line on what his man might be doing. Willie Young this evening up against George Andre. And Pat Plume has replaced Andre now. Greg Morton comes back from another conference.
Be careful, that's old Roger. Greg wouldn't disapprove of Roger right, but I imagine this time, Frank, he's gone over there. They're definitely in good field goal position on the 18s. In this area, I would imagine you might see him try to use the breaking type patterns either across the side or like a double corner. He'll send both of his outside receivers to the corner.
And it's on first down. The ball on the Giants' 18-yard line. Mike Ditka is now the tight end. This for Lance Allworth. Allworth covered by Willie Williams. Brett Dreyer gave it to Roger Staubach.
He sent Allworth to the corner that time. They have a pattern where they can send both outside receivers to the corner. To the corner would mean they'll go down and fake a down and in or a post move, which is another good quick breaking pattern down here that you see a lot of quarterbacks use in this area to score touchdowns with. But they've got about 19 yards to go in there now. And here's from the blip again. That blip's done a heck of a job tonight, isn't it?
We're seeing a fine football game, at least in terms of score. It's all tied up. The Staubach goes deep again. Jennifer Bob Hayes, Athos is there. And I think Staubach is just being very careful with that one. 40 seconds remain in the first half. Greg Larson looking on from the sidelines. 61 is Charlie Harper. Larson 53.
All right, you'll see Freddie Dreyer, number 89, as he comes in. Ralph Neely is blocking on him. And Ralph might have been holding a little bit there.
Got a hand in there.
Well, it slipped a little bit. Ralph's job actually is to push Freddie as far back as he can. Roger could step up maybe one more step and get in there, but they're trying to get him out. Alex is sure a little bit anxious right now. Third down. He knows that his team can hold him. They'll have to settle for a field goal.
3rd and 10. Staubach. Now he'll scramble. Staubach moving for yardage for the first down. 31 seconds indicated on the clock. Joe Green upsets Staubach, but he's moved inside the Giants' 10, and the Cowboys will call timeout again.
Here's Mike Ditka working over the middle. We'll see it again. Staubach comes back. He starts moving right off. He started to throw to Ditka, who was open. Guess he decided he was going to run. Yeah, he decided he was going to run. So it's now timeout. 31 seconds to go. I imagine Ditka's telling him, he says, "Hey, Roger, I was right there in the middle." Roger saying, "Yeah, but I want to run a little bit." And there's Martin, you can see in the background, talking to Coach Landry. Don't know why he's talking to Martin right now. Actually, he's talking to Staubach. Craig's just peeping over the shoulder there, hearing what he's got to say.
You know, it's interesting. On the other side of the field, Jim Files is just coming back to the top of the score. Something's not going to work.
We're having some audio problems. The ball game from the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. We'll attempt to clear them up as soon as possible.
Be a little bit redundant. I know that Coach Landry feels that it's so important to push a team in when you get down here, and I know that especially right before the half, it would be very good to go in with a touchdown rather than a field goal, but everybody feels that way. I'm sure they've worked on this. They have also a special offense from the 10-yard line in. They have another offense from the 20-yard line in, another offense from the 5-yard line in. So he's now working from his 5 to 10-yard offense, and we're going to see what he can do.
31 seconds. Billy Truax is coming to tight end. Staubach getting out of bounds, which he had to do. Yep, he sure did. No timeouts remaining for the Cowboys. Ralph Heck making the stop.
Down here, you don't have a lot of time to pick secondary receivers, primarily because there's not that much room to do that many different kinds of routes with. But we mentioned again the quick-hitting routes, the ones that move to the outside, the ones that move to the inside. You'll see a back come out of the outside. When you work with the tight end, you're going to try to get him right over the middle. And a lot of times, the good ones, the experienced ones, know how to use that goal post as an aid to their route. They'll run by it and try to brush that defensive back off on it.
24 seconds remain. The ball on the 4-yard line. Mike Ditka is back in at tight end. And that's the Staubach once, and the ball hits the goalpost.
They used the goalpost, but for the wrong reason.
That's right there. At least you had it in the play.
I knew that goalpost was going to figure in here somewhere. But he was going to Ditka. And Ditka did come back across, and Ditka did use that goalpost, and so did Roger.
Out will come Ditka, and in will come Billy Truex. 20 seconds
Watch
remain.
Ditka this time as he comes back. As we mentioned, number 89 comes through. He'll breeze right by that goalpost. And he is open there, and the ball hit the goalpost bar.
Third down from the 4. Truex is tight end now.
There he is.
Over the middle to Billy
There he
Truex.
is. That's it. That's the same pattern, only he didn't go through. Just turned around. Stop. Not there in the end zone.
They were going to make that work.
Yep. Attaboy, Rod.
Roger Staubach connecting with Billy Truex from the 4-yard line. 17 seconds remain.
17 seconds here in the Cotton Bowl.
Well, he drilled that in there.
He did for a fact.
Joe Green at position. I'll point out that Joe Green is 5'11". The tight safety for the Giants, Billy Truex, is 6'5". A half a foot giveaway.
Truex
Mike.
weighs 240, and Green weighs, well, they got him at 195. Is he that big?
Just about, as Mike Clark drills it through the center. That's our situation as 17 seconds remain to be played in the first half. You know, this Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports, PBA National Bowling Championship live from Paramus, New Jersey. The nation's outstanding bowlers compete for $85,000 in prize money in one of the most prestigious events on the Bowlers Tour. That's this Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports at 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 Central, and 4:30 Pacific Time. Deep for the Giants, 41 is Willie Williams. 28 is Bobby Duhan. They have moved up, anticipating a short kick on the part of Mike Clark. Cowboys moving 66 yards in 10 plays, culminated by a 4-yard touchdown pass Roger Staubach to Billy Truex. They're out in front, 13-6. We've had some zany football here in the first half. Rocky Thompson. They still got the ball to the wrong man. Thompson up to the 40-yard line as the clock moves with 9 seconds on it. Charlie Waters, number 41, makes a stop for the Cowboys. That's what the Giants have on the scoreboard. And they'll call timeout. Obviously, they intend to use this down to try and get on the scoreboard. Tarkenton will now move across the field. We'll see Tarkenton conferring with head coach Alex Webster and offensive coach Jim Garrett, much as Roger Staubach visited with Tom Landry a while ago. And across the field from Tarkenton, Leroy Jordan, the defensive captain, gets a word from Ernie Stopner, the defensive coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
When teams prepare to play one another, some folks may not be aware of their training films. The training fields are broken up into offensive reels, defensive reels, and kicking reels. There's also occasions where you'll have a reel that's just exclusively in a 2-minute period. What kind of patterns do they run in this 2-minute period? So these teams have played one another enough that they do have a general feeling of what the other team will do in a situation like this. So that's one of the reasons to check with the coach. Say, okay, I've got this down. Yep, I remember they did that. Right. Okay, they come out in this formation and we'll expect this. So let's see what they do. Oh, they got a brand new one here. I'm telling you.
All 4 receivers on the wide side are almost picked off. D.D. Lewis, number 50, almost gets his hands on the football. 3 seconds now remain to be played. I'll tell you.
Did they have an offensive line out there, too? I think Willie Williams.
Well, they had to have, one of them had to be a tackle.
Yeah, Willie Young was out there, I think. Well, we didn't have that one in the computer for this week. I don't know what they're going to do. It worked out all right.
3 seconds remain. Speed and Clifton McNeil and Rich Houston. Should he decide to try and score for the touchdown, that would be the only chance they have to go. And after a near miss like that, he might decide just to run the clock out. Duhan, Morrison, the setbacks. Morrison will kill the clock. Morrison, stopped by Pat Toomey, as the gun sounds. And that's the end of the first half with the score. The Cowboys 13, the Giants 6.
That tall and slim feeling. No matter what shape you're in, you can enjoy it with our little cigar. We call them tall and slim, and that's how you'll feel when you smoke them. Tall and Slims are 100 millimeters tall with rich, mild tobacco. You don't have to inhale to enjoy. Slim in today's modern style. Tall and slim little cigars. Yours to enjoy in regular or menthol for that tall and slim feeling.
I'm Joe Namath. When I can't play football, at least I can watch football and enjoy my new Hamilton Beach Butter-Up Popper. The only popper that butters its own popcorn. Just set the butter here and watch things start popping. It's so automatic I never have to scramble around. And to me, that's important. The new Hamilton Beach Butter-Up Popper. It makes great popcorn. And there's only one thing I like better than popcorn.
Hamilton Beach, Scoville, where great ideas keep popping into our head.
The Mod Squad investigates sabotage at a circus tomorrow night on ABC.
We're back live at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. A beautiful scene from our Goodyear blimp. The scene set, almost total darkness, the lights of the State Fair in the background as the band begins to perform its halftime entertainment. Yes, over 68,000 people here watching the Dallas Cowboys enjoying a 13-6 halftime lead over the Giants. The scoring as shown on your screen. First, a 42-yard field goal by Mike Clark to give Dallas a 3-0 lead. Then a 35-yard field goal by Pete Gogolak to tie it at 3-3. A 41-yarder by Mike to make it 6-3 Dallas. A 20-yarder by Pete to make it 6-6. And then finally, with only 17 seconds left in the first half, the culmination of a drive by the Cowboys within the final 2 minutes, magnificently explained by Don Meredith as he forced his team or ex-team down the field. Staubach threw to tight end Billy Truax for 4 yards. Dallas leading 13-6. The statistics speak for themselves. Dallas dominating, only mildly though, in total number of offensive plays, in first downs, a reasonable edge in rushing yardage, a very scant edge in passing yardage, and the total yardage of the two teams not that vastly different. Time of possession speaks for itself on the screen. Now, it's my personal privilege to remind you, viewers and listeners, that our NBA season begins Friday, November 26th, and our color commentator will be Big Bill Russell, with whom I spoke yesterday asking him what he'd add to the package.
Well, Howard, I'd like to think I'm going to add insight from a coaching viewpoint and honesty and intelligence. I think that those, not that I didn't have it before, of course, but I think that it's a chance to do something that I think I may be able to help in. I enjoyed playing basketball, and I had some definite ideas about it. I'm very opinionated, so I don't have to worry about me sitting there on my thumb.
You're not afraid of being controversial.
No, Howard, not at this point. I'm too old to be afraid now.
What do you mean by bringing honesty to it?
Well, I think that when I see a guy make a mistake, I'll say it's a mistake. And because sometimes a guy will make a mistake and the fans won't even know it's a mistake. But also, when I see a guy make a good play that the fans may not necessarily recognize, I'll say that too. I think that what I wanted to bring out are the subtleties of the game.
Not only that, but the way you've just expressed it, you're going to bring some journalism to the transmission of the contest. We welcome you aboard.
What is that?
Journalism to the transmission of the contest.
Oh,
Bill?
That's what I thought you said.
Thank you very much, Bill Russell. And we look forward to our opening NBA game with Bill Friday, November 26th, Baltimore at Atlanta, 2 o'clock Eastern Time. Now, let's